It is 5:47 a.m. Your eyes snap open before the alarm. The room is still black. You already know how today is going to feel. Second cup that does nothing. Eyes burning in the meeting. That heavy pressure behind your ribs you keep calling stress because you do not have a better name for it. You slept. You just did not rest. And the man your family meets at breakfast is already losing the day. Most men think the fix is more hours. Then they finally get the hours and still wake up gutted, because what is wrecking them is not less sleep. It is broken sleep, wrong timing, a nervous system that never powered down. This is why you are waking up exhausted even when the clock says you slept 8. And it matters more than most men want to admit, because if your nights keep breaking you, your days will keep taking pieces of the man you are trying to become. Marcus is in a Dallas hotel at 11:42 p.m. Blackout curtains do not meet in the middle. A blade of parking lot light cuts the bed in half. His laptop is still warm. 1 beer at dinner, 2 glasses of wine after. He told himself it would take the edge off the early flight. He brushes his teeth with his phone in his left hand. Face lit white blue in the mirror. Thumb scrolling one more time. He lies down and feels his pulse hammer in his throat like he just ran the stairs. He sleeps. Technically, 7.5 hours. At 6:15, he wakes up feeling like somebody beat him with a pipe. That is the morning that breaks the math. The clock says he slept. The body says he was robbed. And once you feel that split, you stop chasing hours and start hunting what happened before, during, and underneath the night. Most men think sleep starts when the eyes close. It starts earlier. It starts when the room stops lying to your body. Light softens. Temperature drops. Noise falls off. The body finally gets one clear signal instead of 10 arguing ones. Miss that window and you can be unconscious for hours without ever cashing the check. Eli proves it. 11:48 p.m., 1 sock on, 1 sock off, leaning into the bathroom sink under a hard mirror light, brushing his teeth with one hand, scrolling with the other. He tells himself he is winding down. His pupils are blown wide. His brain is swallowing one more email, one more clip, one more little hit of outrage. He kills the light, slides under the covers, and wonders why his body is dead while his mind is still sprinting. That is not a character flaw. Light is a timing signal. Bright light late at night tells the brain to hold the line, stay sharp, delay the chemistry that was supposed to start making you sleepy an hour before you ever touched the mattress. You have probably felt the opposite without naming it. A cabin with no streetlight bleeding through the blinds. A back porch after the power cut and the whole block went black. 6 hours of that kind of sleep and you wake up with a clean head, no groaning, no bargaining with the alarm. That is not magic. That is your body finally recognizing the conditions it was built for. So the fix is plain, which is why men ignore it. 90 minutes before bed, overheads off. 1 lamp, warm bulb, low in the room, not blazing in your face. Put a bulb on a timer that turns amber after 9 if you have to. Your eyes need to feel sunset, even while you are loading the dishwasher. Then there is the man who falls asleep but never holds it. Aaron crashes on the couch with the TV still talking. 1:12 a.m. He jolts up with a dry mouth and a kinked neck, stumbles to bed. 3:40 his wife elbows him because he is snoring like a chainsaw. 5:30 the alarm punches him in the chest and he tells himself, I got 6 hours. His night was not one whole thing. It was scraps stitched together and called sleep. That matters because the body does its heavy repair in chunks, not confetti. Muscle, memory, hormones, stress recovery, they all heal deeper when sleep stays continuous. A man can white-knuckle short sleep for a while. Shredded sleep hollows him out faster than anything, which is why the room matters more than pride does. Same place every night if you can. Dark enough you cannot see your own hand. Cool enough that the blanket feels necessary. Quiet, if possible. And if your wife says you stop breathing, if you wake with headaches, if you nod off at red lights, stop trying to be admirable and go get checked for sleep apnea. A lot of men are trying to out-discipline a blocked airway. Then there is the respectable thief. The one men defend because it comes in a glass and gets poured with dinner. Jason is out with clients. second drink by 7, third by 9. He gets home heavy in the eyes, drops into bed, and falls asleep so fast he calls it proof. 2:53 a.m. He comes up sweating through the sheets, heart kicking, mouth dry, mind thin and weird and restless. By morning, he is hollowed out. Alcohol sedates you on the front end and steals from you on the back end. It cuts REM. It spikes your heart rate while you are unconscious. It dehydrates you. It hands you the illusion of sleep without the benefit of it. If that night has your name on it, drop a 7 in the comments. 2 drinks, asleep fast, awake at 3, scrolling in the dark like your body is collecting payment. I want to know how many men are living inside that loop. The next day, most exhausted men reach for the same rescue. Noah, 2:17 p.m., jaw set, staring at the office coffee machine like it owes him something. 1 cup on the drive in, another before lunch. Now he wants the stronger stuff because his patience is shot and the screen has started to swim at the edges. He tells himself caffeine is keeping him functional. Sometimes it is. Sometimes it is just sending the bill forward to tonight. Caffeine has a long echo, not always loud enough to keep you awake, just loud enough to make sleep shallow, shallow enough to shave the depth off the night. And shallow sleep is exactly how 8 hours starts feeling like 5. I learned that in a way that embarrassed me. There was a stretch of about 2 years when I called myself a night owl, because it sounded better than undisciplined. I worked until midnight, poured coffee at 4 in the afternoon like it was nothing, climbed into bed wired and self-satisfied, woke up raw. My kids would walk into the kitchen and I would snap at them over cereal, not because they were loud, because I was spent. I was acting present while my body was underwater. The day I said that out loud to my wife was the day I stopped pretending this was just my personality. That is the part men underestimate. Bad sleep does not just exhaust you. It makes you easier to provoke, easier to discourage, easier to disconnect from. It takes the edge off your patience first, then your warmth, then your judgment. By the time you notice, you have already cost people something. Once a man feels that cost, he is usually ready to hear the unsexy fix. Ben is locked in Monday through Thursday. Bed at 10:30, up at 6. Friday night he stays up until 1:30. Sleeps until 10 Saturday. Naps on the couch Sunday afternoon. Lies in bed. Sunday night staring at the ceiling and decides his body has betrayed him. It did not betray him. He erased its pattern. Your body does not know weekends. It knows signals. When light hits your eyes, when food shows up, when movement starts, when you usually wake. That is why wake time matters more than bedtime. Anchor your wake time. Step outside early. Move a little. The whole system relearns your rhythm fast. But even when the room is dark, the drinks are gone, the caffeine is cut, and the schedule is locked. Some men still climb into bed and feel their body refuse to release. Caleb is lying next to his sleeping wife. Fan humming, house locked, kids down, nothing on fire. His chest stays high and tight. His jaw never leaves first gear. The second the room goes still, his mind starts opening files. Bills, the strange tone in his boss's email, the look on his son's face at dinner. His body is horizontal. His guard is still standing. You cannot drop into deep rest while the system still thinks it is on watch. So do something simple enough that your brain cannot pretend it is beneath you. Sit down before bed with a pen and a scrap of paper. Write the 3 things still chewing on you. Write the next move for each one, even if the next move is 1 phone call tomorrow at 10. Close the notebook. The brain releases the grip the second it knows the problem has a container. If you pray, pray. If you do not, breathe. 4 counts in, 6 counts out, 10 rounds. Long exhales tell the body the threat has passed. You cannot sleep deep with 1 foot still on the gas. This is the real question underneath the title. Not how to become superhuman, how to stop bleeding sleep. The move is not to brag about less. The move is to make the hours you get cleaner, deeper, more consistent. The man who sleeps 6.5 hours in a dark room, on a stable schedule with no late alcohol, no phone glow, less caffeine drag, and a quieter nervous system will outperform the man who gets 8.5 hours of broken, bright, irregular sleep. every single time. I have lived both versions. One built steadiness. The other made me fragile and called it productivity. And fresh does not always look dramatic. Sometimes fresh just means your first thought is not a complaint. A father hears small feet in the hallway before sunrise, sits up, and the room does not feel like an insult. He is not thrilled to be awake. He is just there. He can smile before coffee. He can answer softly. He can hand his kid a plate without feeling irrationally offended by the frying pan. That kind of steadiness changes a house. Hold that picture, because here is what men get wrong about recovery. They think it is soft. They think rest looks too much like collapse to respect it. It is not the same thing. Picture a workshop before dawn. The blacksmith leaves the steel in the coals. He pulls it at the right moment. Not too soon, not too late. Heat, stillness, shape. The strength is not made by endless striking. It is made by knowing when the metal has to stop taking blows. A man who never lets himself cool down and reset does not become harder. He becomes brittle, maybe useful for a while, maybe impressive from 10 feet away. But one real load, and he cracks where nobody can see it yet. The man you are becoming is not the man who boasts that he can run on fumes. He is the man who protects his fire so he can carry steady heat into the next day. He does not worship comfort. He respects recovery because people live downstream from his condition. His wife does. His kids do. His work does. His judgment does. He is not less dangerous because he sleeps. He is more dangerous because he is not leaking strength all night. So make this week an experiment in becoming reliable again. Pick one wake time and hold it within 30 minutes for 7 days. 5 minutes of morning light. No caffeine after 2 p.m. Phone out of the bedroom. Lights dim early. Room cool. No nightcap. Then pay attention to who walks into the kitchen by day 7. If this is your fight, subscribe to Someone to Be, like the video, send it to one man you know who is running on fumes and calling it normal. Drop the word rest in the comments so I know you are in this on purpose. You do not need a heroic morning routine if your nights are quietly dismantling you. Protect the hours nobody sees, and the man your family meets at breakfast starts to change.